just check it out for a second. Every single time you see a flash, that's a bug just getting obliterated, all right? Alright, so anyways, y'all saw it. Now check it out. I got a science question for y'all. I know a lot of y'all seem smart. Whoever answers it first is going to get some candy thrown right at their head. Okay? So, what the question is why do you think bugs are attracted to artificial light at nighttime? Okay? Go ahead. No, but I'm going to go ahead and give you that anyways. Go ahead. Oh, the light is food? No, but hey, yo, here you go anyway. Alright, I gotta get over here. Go ahead, Clayton. No. Alright, I'm taking one more.
Because they think Jesus is in the light.
They think Jesus is in the light now. Alright, homeboy, DJ.
Because it's light.
You know what? Honestly, as funny as that is the closest answer. So there you go, buddy. Okay, enough with the questions. I'm going to answer it. And guess what? You can have some candy later, okay? I promise. But anyways, the reason why bugs are attracted to artificial light at nighttime is because they can't see well in the darkness. Just like he said, it's light. So they can't see that well in the darkness. So they actually use the light to navigate their way around the darkness. So they almost kind of fall into a trance, and then they just go straight towards that light. And like you see in the video, sometimes that light is a bug zapper, and you got something to say?
So it's kind of like Finding Nemo when the turtles were following the current through the water.
It's exactly like Finding Nemo, thank you. But check it out, bugs are actually a lot like humans. And I'm not talking about, because I know nobody flies around cow patties and no one's like sucking blood or anything like that. But what I mean that bugs are a lot like humans is that a lot of times we're attracted to things that can be harmful to us. Just like the bugs, they're just flying towards the light happily, and next thing you know, they get taken care of. And I want to share a story maybe so you guys could see it a little better of something that I did when I was in middle school, which I know y'all think we're real old, and yes, it was a decade ago that I was in middle school. Yo, I'm only 23, right? But nonetheless, I'm going to share a stupid story of something I did while I was in middle school, and it's going to tie into the story. So check it out. When I was in middle school, I was a bad kid. And you can ask my dad, I really just I would do stupid things just to see what was going to happen, you know what I mean? And this right here is one of those stories. Now, have you ever been like sitting in class, right, and the teacher's talking, and you're probably not really listening as much as you should be, and for some reason you're sitting there, you're like, okay, well, it's time for me to have a break. You know what I mean? So what do? You don't have to use the bathroom, but you raise your hand, you're like, yo, Miss Finkelmeyer, can I go use the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting in class, and I ask Miss Finkelmeyer, that's probably not her name, but God bless her soul. You know, I ask her, can I go use the bathroom? She's like, yeah, you can go use the bathroom. So I'm going, and I'm walking, I get in the bathroom. And I don't know if I'm the only person that does this, but like when you notice somebody's in the stall, right? And you're in middle school, like you kind of like you crouch down and then you look at their shoes to see who's in the stall. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's different for guys because guys got urinals. So if somebody's in the stall, you know they're going to be in there for a while. I'm not going any further with that, but they're going to be in there for a while. So I crunch over and I see this dude's shoes, and for some reason I'm like, man, I got to do something about this. You know what I mean? And the school knows that there was bad kids like me, so they had pretty much foolproofed the whole bathroom so you couldn't do something that, some dumb bad kid would do. But, I was really driven to do what I was going to do. So what my decision was is that I needed to turn the lights out on this boy while he was doing his business. So I go over to the panel where the light switch should be, and the school had already thought of it, but there was not a switch. There was a slit. There was a slit in the wall. And look, ain't no one do this. This is actually, going to get to the rest of the story. I'm not saying you should do that because I'm going to be really mad if I hear you got a referral or suspended for doing this. But I saw the slit, and, I wasn't going to be defeated by that. So I went to my pocket, and I got my keys. I got them. These keys right here. Not these, but some keys. And I took the key, and no, I didn't get electrocuted. But I took the key and I put it into the slit. And then I started jiggling it around. And next thing you know, click, the lights just completely went out. And dude's like, hey, that's not funny, man. Come on. Turn it back on. And me, I just go and I just walk out, See you later, buddy. Enjoy. I hope you can find the toilet tissue. So anyways, that story, though, is just one of many stories of me doing absolutely stupid, crazy stuff that I shouldn't have done. But, it took me until just recently to realize why I did stupid stuff like that. And now, looking back on it, I see, man, I wanted to be accepted. You know what I mean? Because before I started doing all this craziness, I wasn't the quote-unquote cool kid. But once I started acting bad, everyone's like, oh, man, Casey, man, he's going to do something stupid to make you laugh. And it always made me, get in Saturday schools and get referrals, and I was getting suspended and whatnot. But I was attracted to the artificial light. That's what I was going towards, just like the bugs. I was attracted to an artificial light, and for me, that light was just being accepted because I didn't want to be in the darkness. And for me, what the darkness would have been is feeling alone, feeling alienated, feeling like you're not the cool kid. So, you guys all want to feel accepted, right? If all your friends, like you right here, I'm not trying to pick on you, but if all your friends are like, you know what, I'm not talking to her anymore, I don't like, her shoes or something like that, so I'm never speaking to her again, you wouldn't feel good about that, right? Or you'd be cool without your friends? Alright, so see, look, everybody, even adults, all of us, even my father, everybody wants to feel accepted by a group of people. But the thing is, a lot of times when you're trying to be accepted, a lot of times you'll do things that you shouldn't do, just like me. And, you might be getting into drinking, smoking, cussing, disobeying your parents, your teachers, getting too physical with that person that you like. There's just a whole bunch of things that you could do that just show that you're trying to get acceptance. And when you're doing those things, just like one of those bugs, you're flying towards the light. But the thing about that is that God does not want us flying towards destruction, okay? That's not God's plan for you, not even a little bit. God has great plans for our lives, but it doesn't include us acting like we're insane, okay? And Jesus, he directly addresses this issue of people going with crowds that they shouldn't be going with. Does anybody know what the Sermon on the Mount is? I saw you raise your hand now. I'm going to get you. What's up? What's the Sermon on the Mount? Just whatever in your idea of what it is. Of course. Go ahead.
When Jesus spoke to all the people on the mountain.
Okay. I'm going to have to throw you a piece of candy. Would you like that? Well, I can't throw it that far. I ain't trying to hurt nobody, so here you go, homeboy. Give it to her. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you one just because you did that so nicely. Okay, well, I'm not asking any more questions about the Sermon on the Mount. Like I said, all y'all going to get some. But check it out. The Sermon on the Mount, just like she says, Jesus was teaching. Now, he preached the Sermon on the Mount early in his ministry, and something that I thought was absolutely awesome about it, outside of the fact that it contains the central points of Christianity, but the really awesome thing about it is that it is hailed by Christians and many non-Christians as the most pure and the most flawless moral teaching ever. You know, by Christians and non-Christians. So it's like, man, this right here is legit. Okay? And you can bring up the verse. But in it, this is what Jesus was saying. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. Go to the next one. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Okay? Can you guys tell me in your own words what you think that means? Go ahead. That's a perfect answer. Here, let me get that. Anybody else want to? Go ahead.
Well, the wide road, like you said, is because it's like the easy road, and when people when they want to fit in, they usually cuss or have friends or they do bad things, and they don't want to but the narrow road is where you don't do all the stuff that popular people do. You do when you think it's right, not what others do.
Awesome. Good. All right, here, you give it to her this time, and then I'm giving you one because you gave it to her. Keep it. There you go. Yeah, all right, so, those were great explanations. I'm just going to really just sum that up. Yeah, just like they're saying, that wide road, man, that wide road is a road that loads of people are walking on, man. Like, that's the road just like I was walking on, that you're doing stupid things that you know that the Lord wouldn't want you to do, that your parents wouldn't approve of, but you're doing it anyway for whatever reason, whether that's trying to be accepted, or whether it's because, you want instant gratification, whatever you do feels good. But that narrow road, honestly, just like she said, the wide road is the easy one. The narrow road, yeah, it's harder to walk on because there's certain things that we're not going to do as Christians. You know what I mean? Certain things that could just give you gratification right now that the Lord's saying, no, don't do that because you're better than that. What our job here at Identity is as leaders, it's the same job that Jesus had. And I don't mean as far as dying for sins. Like, that was only Jesus. Jesus came here and lived a perfect life for you guys to follow after. What I mean is that we're here to make sure that we can get as many people, as many of you guys, through those narrow gates as possible. Okay, like personally myself, the reason why I love doing Identity is because, like I told y'all, man, when I was in middle school, I was bad. I was headed towards the broad gate, and I was stepping wide, man. That's just how I was. I was bad kid. But now I pray that you guys will listen to me and the other leaders when we're telling you about Jesus and actually truly take it to heart, so you don't got to make the same mistakes that we did. I've had a good chance to, speak to a lot of you guys. I think y'all are a really great bunch, you know what I mean? But I do believe that some of y'all, possibly, and not in my knowledge, but some of you guys may be traveling on that broad road that leads to destruction. But I know that you guys are better than that. I know that you're smarter than that. And I also know that y'all are a lot more mature than that. Because, we got to follow after Christ. Because God, and it says in the Word, Jeremiah 29:11, I'm just going to paraphrase it, but God has plans to prosper you and give you a future. Now, I got a question. Do you want destruction like the flies that get zapped? Or do you want that plan that God has for you that's going to really give you a good future that you're going to prosper with? And I mean, that right there, I ain't going to ask people to raise their hands. It's simple. No one wants destruction. And yeah, the wide road, it has its appeal. The wide road will have its appeal most likely for your whole lives, because that's what temptation is. But when you're walking with the Lord, the closer you walk with the Lord, then the less that temptation is really going to get to you. You know what I mean? And like I said, I know you guys are better than walking on that wide road. You know when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. And the Lord knows, but I also know that if you are on that road, that you can get off of it, okay? So that's pretty much what I got to say. I want to pray real quick if everybody wants to bow their heads. Okay. Lord, I thank you for bringing us here today, God, and just blessing us with this time to be able to fellowship, Lord. And I pray that everybody was able to really receive the message. And God, I just, you guys, if there's anybody out there that feels like they're walking on that wide road, or that they were walking on a straight and narrow, and they want to, they want to get back on it if they fell off. God, if someone wants to raise their hand, if you want to rededicate your life to Christ, or if you really want to just accept Christ for the first time in your life and get off that wide road, you know what I mean? You can go ahead and raise your hand with nobody looking around. It's no big deal. Okay, thank you right there. Thank you right there. Okay, wait for a moment. If there's anybody else, All right, I'm going to go ahead. Everybody say this all together because we're family. Okay? Lord, I thank you. And God, I ask for your forgiveness for the things that I've done in my life. And I pray that you would be in my heart, Lord, and guide my steps. In Jesus' name I pray. Everybody say amen. Amen. All right, cool. All right, check it out now. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a couple songs. If y'all want to stand up, we're going to do some Muzak. Yeah, y'all can come up here and do some moves.